We're live from the Valley for the early kick-off in the Sky Bet Championship as Charlton host Sheffield Wednesday. Charlton fans in great spirits after the news broke yesterday that unpopular owner Roland Duchâtelet has agreed to sell his stake in the club.
I think I speak for everyone when I say I think we're all absolutely buzzing. It's been a long time coming. He's caused a lot of drama, probably ripped the heart and soul out of the club, and we've got it back now, hopefully.
4 years too late. He's done a lot of damage to this club, so we're hoping now that the new owners will put the team and the fans before business.
You can see it now already, people are coming together and coming back, and it's an amazing feeling. I mean, obviously we've got to wait for the EFL stamp of approval.
This club is a fantastic place and can only go forwards now. This is brilliant.
On the pitch though, Charlton are in the midst of an injury crisis with 13 first-team players currently unavailable. The team are now winless in 6. That's Lee Bowyer's worst run of results as a manager. He makes 4 changes from defeat at Luton. They made more than any other championship side this season. Matthews, Osilaja, Oztuma and Doherty come in for Pearce, Solly, Gallagher and Purrington. Just 5 players on the bench. Sheffield Wednesday are in a bad run of form too. No win in 5. And with the threat of a possible points deduction looming in the background, it is vital they get back to winning ways. Gary Monk also makes 4 changes from their draw against Birmingham. Lees, Nuhiu, Hutchinson and Forestieri all come in for Bonne, Reach, Lee and Luongo. It is the first time Nuhui, Forestieri and Stephen Fletcher have started together ever. Wednesday come into the game having taken just 3 points from a possible 15 and just 1 point from 12 on the road, but win today and they go 1 point off the playoff places. Charlton is 7 points off the playoffs but just 7 off the relegation zone. A horrendous injury list over the last few months has contributed to picking up just 2 wins in the last 12 matches. Oh, but there are smiles on the faces of everyone here at the Valley. A takeover imminent. And just what does that mean for the future of Charlton Athletic? What better person to ask than a former Charlton player, a former Charlton manager, a Charlton legend, Chris Powell. Chris, great to see you. When you heard the news that the owner had agreed the sale, What did you think? What was your reaction?
Well, I know exactly how the Charlton fans would have felt when they heard the news. And as long as it all goes through...
What did you think?
I was absolutely ecstatic for the supporters, for the community, for the football club, because it's been a fractious relationship ever since Roland came in and didn't really embrace the football club, didn't really embrace the community. It was quite clear that he felt he was able to do whatever he wanted. Sadly for myself, at the beginning of his reign, he wanted to bring in a lot of players from the clubs that he owned, which is his right. But I just said, as long as you know exactly what it entails, the championship as it was then. I know the club went down to League One during his reign, but fortunately Lee got the team back up last year.
How much of a negative impact did all of that have on the club and the relationship between him and the fans?
Well, I can only talk about my time with him, and it was constant, it was daily. It was a real tough time. And then, of course, then you come to this. You come to the protests, the beach balls, the tennis balls. I mean, it was just ridiculous, really. It ripped the heart out of the club. And to be fair, a lot of supporters, I feel, will come back now. A lot made a stand, and they wanted to stay away, and they have stayed away. But I think now, with this news, that Roland has finally gone, I truly believe that the club will be on and up again, even though at the moment, football-wise, it hasn't been to everyone's liking, but I think they'll come back again.
OK, well, let's have a look at the statement put out by the prospective new owners, the Abu Dhabi investment group, East Street Investments. We are proud and delighted to announce East Street Investments have agreed the purchase of Charlton Athletic Football Club. We are privileged to take ownership of such an historic club, and it is incredibly exciting to be part of the process of building a fresh future for the fans, loyal club staff and players of Charlton Athletic. While we may be the club owners, truly we are only the custodians. The takeover still to be ratified by the EFL, but earlier on, Jonathan Oak spoke to Richard Wiseman, chairman of the Charlton Supporters Trust.
Yeah, you get the feeling Charlton fans will be celebrating today regardless of what happens on the pitch. Richard, what was your reaction when you heard the news that Roland de Châtelet has finally agreed to sell up?
Delighted, absolutely thrilled. I mean, there's been so much dismay at this club and anger over the years, and now you look around, you see so many happy faces, people coming back, and I think, one, obviously they're pleased because the previous owner has gone, but more importantly really is that the new owners have come in, and from what they're saying in their statement, they're going to respect the supporters, they're going to respect the club's traditions, they've got some ambition. So I think everybody is really excited today.
It has been toxic at times here over the last few years. I understand that there was a demonstration planned for the next couple of weeks, wasn't there?
Well, we wrote to the previous owner, about 10 days ago, urging him, whatever else was going on, to get Lee Bowyer and his team signed up on long-term contracts. We didn't get a reply, which didn't surprise us because he's never actually replied to us. So we had just ordered 5,000 posters for supporters to hold up when you come to film our game against Hull next month. And we got quotations for them and ready to go, but we just managed to stop the presses in time a couple of days ago when the news came through.
The prospective new owners have made it clear that they will be giving Lee Bowyer that proper contract that he says that he wants. Is there an opportunity to build a legacy here, perhaps like Alan Kirbishley did over such a long period of time?
I was really thrilled when I read Lee's comment that that's what he wanted to do, because I think Charlton supporters, obviously we like to win football matches, but I think we also value that stability and continuity and that sense of a club being part of the community and the supporters playing a part. Everything that was built under Alan Kirbishley, a sort of gradual development, everybody feeling part of it. And there are lots of similarities between Lee and Alan Kirbishley. So, I think that's what we're all looking forward to in a big way.
Thank you, Richard. Enjoy today.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Well, another demonstration avoided, thank goodness. Smiles on the faces here. And interesting, Chris, that East Street Investments describe themselves as custodians rather than owners, and they recognise that the spirit of the club is with the fans. They seem to understand what's needed here, don't they?
Yeah, I really hope that their statement is something they're going to fulfil, because a lot of owners feel, yeah, I'm running the football club, it's our club, where actually these East Street are saying, actually, we're just here for part of the journey and we want to be with you. We understand that you've had a real tough time under the previous ownership, and I just hope that they do embrace and do everything they say. They embrace the club. You know, Scott, as well as myself, that the tough times that Charlton had with moving away, it has built a real sense of togetherness at this club. And I know every football club will have their own reasons for why they feel so special, but Charlton actually left the Valley and have come back. No other club has ever done that. So the supporters and everyone involved with Charlton feel that they're part of the journey, and they felt that Roland de Châtelet wasn't. So now they're hoping the new owners will be.
A cause, not just a club. I think that's what the Charlton fans believe here. But in terms of the priorities, they've said they want to try and get Lee Bowyer on a long-term contract. How important is it that they do that? And in terms of investment generally, what's the potential here?
Well, I was fortunate enough to be in the Premier League here. Week in, week out, sold out here at the Valley. It's a club that has well-established roots in the area, a fantastic fan base, even in League One, that can get crowds over 20,000. What I hope is, if East Street give Johnny Jackson, Lee Bowyer and his management team the contracts they're after, it will bring everyone together straight away. It'll be a massive statement for everyone. It will prove that they feel he's the right man moving forward. So we'll have to wait and see if that happens, but I really hope it does.
It is a massive moment in the short and medium term of Charlton Athletics history, but we mustn't forget there is a game going on here today. When we come back, we'll talk about that. We'll hear from the managers, where both, of course, want to get back to winning ways on the pitch. It's the start of a new era here at the Valley, a change of ownership, the chance to get manager Lee Bowyer on a long-term contract and for the club to move in the right direction. Sheffield Wednesday, their visitors today, with their own agenda of moving towards the playoff places. Let's hear from both managers now with Jonathan Oakes.
Well, Lee, firstly to the news that you'll soon have new owners after Roland Duchâtelet agreed a deal to sell the club. How much does Charlton Athletic need this, and what will be the impact?
It's a massive impact. There's a lot of positive vibes going around the club at the moment. So hopefully it goes through, it passes through the EFL, it's in their hands now. So yeah, it's all positive at the moment, so hopefully they get the green light and the club can move forward.
Gary, Fernando Forestieri starts today, and Ati Nuhiu and Stephen Fletcher. What does that tell us about your intentions?
No, it's about we want to try and win this game, and we know part of the run of games we just had here, in terms of we're creating a numerous amount of chances, and yeah, we're trying to attack and see if we can take those chances. That's what we need to do. But as always, you pick a team that you believe can win the game, and that's what we're trying to do today.
As for your team selection today, you are extremely stretched again. Just 5 on the bench for this one, and you've had to make a very late alteration, haven't you?
Yeah, we had a couple of sicknesses this morning, so lucky we weren't playing away because one was a sub goalie. If we was playing at a Wigan today, then we would have had no sub goalie on the bench. So yeah, if you've got your boots, have you? Because we're very low at the moment, but yeah, we'll adapt. These things are here to challenge us, and but again, the same as every game, the 11 that I put out, I believe that we can go and win the game, and we're going to try our hardest to do that.
My goodness, Lee must be desperate if he's asking Jonathan Oakes if he's got his boots. I can imagine it with you. But look, there is another team playing today, Chris.
Yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday, no win in 5. And if you look at the table as it stands, all their 7 wins have come against the bottom 7 sides. No wins of anyone higher. No. What does that tell you about them?
Well, it's quite remarkable, that stat. I can't say flat track bullies, but they obviously excel against the sides below them. But as anyone knows, over the course of 46 games, Gary Monk's got to get his side to start getting wins against teams mid and upper in the table. So they haven't won well. They have been playing particularly well, but it's just the performances have been decent, but they just haven't got the results to reflect that.
They haven't won a game since the EFL announced that they had breached the profitability and sustainability rules. Now, we don't know the punishment yet, but how concerned should they be about a possible big points deduction?
Very. I mean, if there's one manager in the division that knows how to deal with it, it'd be Gary, because he obviously went for it at Birmingham.
He's the perfect man, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But that can't help. That can't help everyone at board level, and maybe Gary trying to plan for the future, because he doesn't know if they're going to have -12, -15 points. They don't know if there's going to be a huge fine, which might impact on him trying to bring in players in January. So a particularly tough time, but what they have to do at the moment is just get the points, get them on board, and then see what happens when the EFL make up their minds exactly what the punishment will be.
Let's have a look at today's team then, shall we? I mean, no win in 5, but it's a very attacking side, Chris, isn't it? What do you make of it?
I'm quite shocked, actually, because we're looking at 2 traditional number 9s in Fletcher and Nuhui. Forestieri likes to sort of ferret around, play his sort of number 10 off the shoulder. He's very creative. We've got him on the right wing, but there's one place I've never seen him play is out wide. So I would expect him, if he is there, to drift inside and help out the front 2.
He's not going to drop back and help out his fullback, is he? He's not going to be that kind of guy sitting in front. So do you think, one, that's a possible position for Charlton to exploit, but how dangerous will it be coming in and maybe playing that number 10 role?
Well, maybe Gary Monk felt Charlton be playing 3 at the back, so there might have been a wing-back against a full-back for Sheffield Wednesday. That would have allowed Forestieri to start off inside. So we'll see how it pans out. He may be there without the ball, but with the ball he'll drift inside and try to be quite difficult to pick up.
For Charlton on the pitch, with so many quality players out, just how much will they be relying on Jonathan Lecco today?
Well, he's a young player, a player I've always liked at West Bromwich Albion, and he's come here and he's excelled. He's got a few goals and assists, as we've seen.
He's divided
there.
some of the Charlton fans here. Some of them think he's too inconsistent. What do you think?
Well, he's a young player, and he's playing at this level regularly for the first time. He's been out on loan a number of times, but he's finding exactly what you need to do week in, week out. But he's a player that excites me and will excite the fans, and hopefully he will do well today.
There is a fantastic atmosphere here at the Valley. Everyone is most certainly up for this one, and the fans coming to the game have walked with a spring in their step. Can that spur on an injury-ravaged Charlton and send the fans home even happier? Or could Sheffield Wednesday spoil the party? Kick-off not far away. Alexander Mitrovic, the difference between Swansea and Fulham last night. 10 games today in the Sky Bet Championship. Wayne Rooney will be on the Derby bench as a coach. QPR, the visitors there. Leeds will go top if they beat Middlesbrough, while on Monday, current leaders West Brom have a tough trip to Preston. 7:30 for that one on air, Sky Sports Football. 15-minute highlights of all those games, bar Monday, of course, available from 7 a.m. tomorrow on Sky Sports Football and also on demand. And the Sky Sports EFL podcast is available now, comes out each and every Monday. This week features an interview with Leeds United's Calvin Phillips. Next week, an exclusive one with Nathan Jones. You'll find it on iTunes, Spotify, Castbox, or your regular podcast provider. Just search Sky EFL. Well, what a day for Charlton fans, including Lee Ryan. Chris Powell, a big fan, I know. Lee's son, Rain, a mascot today, celebrating his 11th birthday. And kick-off comes next.
The fans have been great since I've taken over. They've been unreal at times.
Forget what's happened in the past and just move forward.
I'm just excited to see what we can do about it now.
People always took over the club are supposed to have plenty of capital to put into it.
Hopefully we can get across the line and all done by the EFL.
Get us back to where we belong.
Happy days. It's the best news ever.
Because of the news of the takeover, then I'm sure there will be that extra bit of buzz around the place.
The Charlton fans' reaction today to hearing the news yesterday, one they've been waiting to hear for years, a change of ownership. Sheffield Wednesday, the visitors here at the Valley. Chris Powell alongside me. And Chris, when was the last time you felt a buzz like this around the Valley, apart from obviously against Doncaster in the playoff at the end of last season?
Well, I was going to mention that game. I suppose it hasn't been here for a while. Lee's been really well supported by the supporters, and the players have really excelled under his management so far. But it's a big moment for this club. It's a real seminal moment for this club. New ownership, and as long as it gets ratified, I think everyone will be really, really happy.
If you were playing again for Charlton, what would you be thinking right now? If you were manager again, what would you be saying to the players?
Well, you'd be saying to them, well, what players he's got left available. You'd be saying that this can be a new start for us. You know, we did the hard part in getting up in the playoff final, but it's all about the future and the promising future that this football club can have. They've had turmoil, but now really they've got to look forward to a brighter future.
Matt Southall, their prospective new chairman, is here to see how today's goes. How does Sheffield Wednesday spoil the party today?
Well, they're playing three strikers, so it's quite obvious Gary Monk, I feel, will get the ball into the attacking third pretty quickly, and they'll play off Nuhui. Fletcher scores goals at this level. Forestieri is creative. He's a buzzy player. The Sheffield Wednesday fans want him to play. So I feel that Charlton will have to deal with that first and foremost.
And we know of the injury problems Charlton have in midfield. In terms of Wednesday's midfield, how key could Barry Bannon be running things?
Very, very good player. I know physicality, people think he's not good enough, but he's a technical player and he sparks things off. And I can't hear you in a minute with all the fans, but he's a key player that Charlton will have to deal with, and I think Darren Pratley will have to marshal the Charlton's midfield to try and make sure that Barry Bannon doesn't get on the ball.
Chris, well done. I can just about hear you. The atmosphere here, though, is fantastic. Can the Charlton players, though, put all what's happened in the last 24 hours to one side and get the win? Or will Sheffield Wednesday have something to say about that? Your commentary team, Don Goodman and Daniel Mann.
Thank you, Scott. Yes, the dark clouds have cleared. It is a happy valley once again. And the hope that the prospective new owners can show the necessary care and the necessary ambition to propel this club back to where everybody around here wants it to go. Sheffield Wednesday have different priorities, and their fans travelling in hope because of their performances of late, despite recent ruts in the road in results terms. They've earned a break, which they haven't had in the last few matches and seeking to take advantage of Charlton's much publicised injury problems. The good news off the pitch is tempered with the difficulties in finding 11 fit players to play on it for Charlton at the moment, and those problems have been exacerbated by illness in the camp. Left-back Ben Purrington dropping out only on his arrival at the stadium this morning. So young Alfie Doughty starts there and starts a championship game for the first time. The creative Erhun Oztuma has recovered from a foot injury to return at the tip of the diamond. Deji Oshilaja will play at the base of it, but with the option of dropping into a three-man defence as the game goes on. Adam Matthews plays at right-back. Only 5 substitutes today. Jason Pearce and Chris Solly, first-team regulars among them. We understand they're not affected by this bug, although more than 1 or 2 are. Well, Fernando Forestieri starts for the first time since Gary Monk took over at Sheffield Wednesday. We have him on the right. That's nominally a recovery position. We don't expect him to feature too much in that area when they have the ball by any means. It's also the first time he's started with Ate Nuhiu and Stephen Fletcher, so it is a very attacking side, but there is a robustness to it with the reintroduction of Sam Hutchinson in midfield. There's a return for Tom Lees at the back with Julian Berner, who's been so impressive, suspended, and left-back Morgan Fox faces his old club today. Well, he missed his creative instincts at Luton in the week because of injury, but a man with a key role perhaps to play for Charlton today, Don Goodman.
Well, I think so. He's a very, very technically gifted player. He can beat a man, he can spot a pass, and I think he will actually have a look at where Forestieri is operating, and if Fernando Forestieri drifts in, there may be a space for Oztuma to go and exploit.
The big man is a key man for Sheffield Wednesday up there, although not the biggest man today.
No, but you look at that, remarkable, isn't it, really, that aerial duels won. He's up there, and he's a threat, really. Sheffield Wednesday, keep it simple, get the ball out wide, get crosses in. You've got Nuhiu and you've got Fletcher. 3 of his 6 goals have been headers, and that could be an area that Sheffield Wednesday will look to profit from.
Well, some intriguing news for the 2 managers this week, with Sheffield Wednesday potentially in difficulty with the authorities. Gary Monk has been there before at Birmingham City, and Lee Bowyer potentially with greater job security and greater ambition from those behind him. Tim Robinson, a regular on these occasions, now in front of the cameras, is the referee. And, Fernando Forestieri at the kickoff, lining up on the left side of a 4-man midfield for Sheffield Wednesday, where we did see him a fair bit in the days of Carlos Carvalhal. So that is where he is starting. Again, the same applies. We don't expect him to get chalk on his boots by any means.
No, a different kind of a wide player, so to speak, isn't he, really? I'm sure that Gary Monk will give him a little bit of free rein. Came on off the bench in midweek, positive impact. And at his best, he's one of the best players in the Championship. That is a fact.
Here's Odabaggio for Wednesday, who's in because of Liam Palmer's suspension. Here is Forestieri, talking about playing from the left, here he is at inside right.
Yeah, there's that flexibility, isn't it, really? What it does to a player like him is it means that others around him have to play with real discipline in terms of plugging holes.
We saw that immediately from Ate Nuhiu over there on that left side. So
absolutely.
They know what to expect and they know how to react. Macaulay Bonne battling. The talismanic Lyle Taylor still missing, but you have to say the stand-ins, if we choose to use that label, have certainly done an excellent job. Cameron Dawson to take this free kick. Kieran Westwood still out.
Well, it's often said, isn't it, how important scoring the first goal is in a football match. Well, to Sheffield Wednesday, you can have a look at that. More important than most, and of course not many of those games have been under his reign. It's covered several coaches and managers, but really important that Sheffield Wednesday don't concede first, you would think.
Tidied up by Fox on familiar territory. Oshilaja won the first aerial duel with Nuhiu. You might blame the sun. Bonne. Always a pleasure to watch in there. A nice contrast between the two central midfield players for Wednesday. Here's Hutchinson. Fox well forward. Not exactly the warmest welcome for the former Charlton man. Oshilaja. Fletcher battling to get it down. Bonne. Fletcher, that was neat play. Hutchinson brings Fox in again. It's good defending from Adam Matthews.
Again, we're 3 minutes in and already Morgan Fox has, beside getting the bird from the home fans, he's had a couple of opportunities to get quality delivery into the area. He hasn't managed to do it in those first 2 attempts, but clearly get it out wide and get it in there.
Just a little overcooked by his very high standards. A puller of strings for Sheffield Wednesday. Quality operator. I am staggered actually that he's plying his trade in the Championship with the respect to the Championship. Here's Nuhiu. Harris. Will be a Wednesday free kick.
It's for the first foul, isn't it, Tim Robinson? Good refereeing, trying to allow Sheffield Wednesday to have an advantage. Nothing comes from it. There's the infringement, little shove in the back there. Nothing comes. Bring it back. Good refereeing, I like that.
Well, it's a scenario where Wednesday can cause any team in the Championship major problems. Already in their line. Nuhiu in behind it at the moment. Now he's dashed back and he gets there and scores for the flag up. Nuhiu didn't get back onside. Just didn't quite time it right.
Well, what a delivery that is. And clearly, Gary Monk will feel it's an area they can exploit, and upon contact, oh, what a fantastic decision from the assistant referee. It is fractions, but the assistant has got it spot on. But that is a warning sign for Charlton Athletic. Cannot afford to be giving cheap free kicks away.
Started in offside position, tried to check before the free kick was delivered in marvellous fashion by Forestieri, but didn't quite make up the yard.
I just wonder whether that's an indicator of how it's been going in front of goal for Sheffield Wednesday. They have been unlucky. I mean, they've struck the woodwork 11 times. They're creating chances. Performances are good. But just the last 5 games haven't been able to get on the right side of positive results. But they're not a million miles away.
Well, the expected goals table, which is a good indicator of how teams are performing, has them right up there at the moment.
Well, it's not an exact science, but in my experience, it does give you a fairly accurate idea of which teams are playing well and taking their chances and which teams are being a little bit unfortunate, and Sheffield Wednesday certainly fall into that.
The Charlton building, teased in there by young Morgan towards Macaulay Bonne. It would be fair to say that Dawson was not hanging about there, keen to get Fletcher away if there was any possibility of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, Stephen Fletcher, one of his greatest attributes isn't his searing pace, and I'm sure he'll forgive me for saying that, but clearly trying to catch the Charlton defence by surprise there.
Into Nuhiu. It was Lockyer who got there. Hutchinson. Odebajo. for Fox.
He's another one, isn't he? Compliments Barry Bannon perfectly well, doesn't he, Sam Hutchinson? The shame for Sheffield Wednesday is just the way he plays, picks up so many yellow cards, already served a ban, only a couple of games away from an even bigger ban.
Half-century of bookings in his time at Sheffield Wednesday. But they won't want to temper that robust side to his game. It comes with risk.
Yeah. Take away that sheer aggression away and you might not have the same player making the same kind of impact on games.
I didn't mention it in the team news, but Charlton missing a very talented Conor Gallagher through suspension today, and you know, he does tend to chase down everything, and that's why he has picked up the 5 yellow cards that rule him out. It's a style of play that comes with the prospect of mistiming a few challenges. Oshilaja was hopeful, but that's all of a corner. Brief appeal, but getting in beyond.
Yeah, I think again, just like Sheffield Wednesday, they've had a little tough run of results, haven't they, Charlton? Key players missing, and really remarkable the amount of injuries they've picked up, and compounded by illness here today, and the suspension to Conor Gallagher that you've already mentioned. It's been hard work, but what a job he's done, Lee Bowyer. Remarkably good job.
Lico looking to impose himself there on Morgan Fox. And that is won by Alfie Doughty. He would probably prefer to play further forward, but it's not the first time he's started at left back in the Charlton first team. Played there against Forest Green earlier in the season in the League Cup. Here he is again, Doughty. One of the young men have been pressed into service a little earlier than they otherwise would have been. Lico. Can he work the opening for the chance? Pratley. Matthews with a cross, deflected.
I have to say that is outstanding defending from former Charlton player Morgan Fox, who found himself inside there, but he doesn't dive in, and he makes sure that Lico can't turn. There he is, holds him up, forces him wide. That's excellent defending from Morgan Fox.
It's good and bad from set pieces, Charlton. They're good with their own. Oh, and Lockyer in the end getting his head to it, but there was a moment of alarm for Wednesday there.
It was fizzed across with such pace, and it actually flicks off ahead before it arrives at Tom Lockyer there. Not an awful lot he can do with that, truth be told. Off Fletcher's head, really quickly at him, can't adjust quick enough.
Noticed the look of concern on Sam Hutchinson's face as it whizzed over his head there. There's not a lot. It was almost too good a ball, wasn't it? That is Nuhiu. One of the biggest tests for central defences, literally. It's Forestieri. What a Baggio. Dominic Iorfa.
One of these teams, Sheffield Wednesday, that they genuinely can play in different ways. They've got that kind of a ball. Yes, it hasn't come off this time, but when Stephen Fletcher and Nuhiu got target men, few and far between in the modern game, really. That you can ping the ball in, that can hold it up and bring others into play. So they can go forward fairly quickly, but they can also play through the thirds. Barry Bannon usually pulling the strings.
Naby Sarr. So, through all the darkest of times, really, under the well, until it's ratified, still the owner, but the ownership that is drawing to a close, an era that won't be celebrated. Lico. Solid play from him again. Adam Matthews now. Did really well. Bonne's offside though. Good reactions nonetheless from Tom Lees, who wasn't necessarily to be sure of that.
And good play all round, isn't it, really? It's quick and incisive attacking play from Lico. Pings the ball out there, but really good line from Sheffield Wednesday. Very experienced, although Moses Odebajo makes that tight. I think you're talking inches there, but I do think it's the right decision as that ball's played in. No harm done anyway. Tom Lees had it covered. Another good decision from an assistant referee.
Naby Sarr, pleased that it did make it all the way back to the outstanding Dylan Phillips.
One of the few that remain from the playoff final victory. Massive changes. It's another reason which we should all applaud Lee Barry and what he had to deal with. Lost 4 key players from that team.
Bonne. Odebajo. Kadeem Harris. Fletcher. Bannon cut out though by the vastly experienced Pratley into Lico. 3-4 around him. Forestieri all the way back there to sweep it upfield. This is Oztumer. Oztumer again. He was struggling to walk in the build-up to the Luton game in midweek, had to miss it, understandably, to a swollen foot. Local lad. He's travelled far and wide in his playing career, time in Turkey, time in Bolton and Peterborough.
Don't forget Walsall.
And Warsaw, where he was outstanding, yes.
That's where he came to my attention.
How could we, with you here, Don?
Exactly, that's why I brought it. It's not Warsaw, that's Walsall.
Here is Oztumer again. He was rejected by Charlton when he was very young because of his size. Hasn't had that growth spurt they were hoping for, but certainly is big on talent. Flag up on the far side against Alfie Doughty.
It's just gone into a little bit of a lull, hasn't it, the game, really? Not an awful lot happening, but gives us a chance to have a look at what a brilliant start Charlton made to life in the Championship. First 6 games, absolutely outstanding, and the fact is he was playing, he was fit for all of those. They were undefeated, but the last 12 games just gone a bit off the boil. But his shooting accuracy and conversion is absolutely remarkable, isn't it? And that's one of the reasons they find it that little bit more difficult in these last 12 games. Injuries to key players, none more key than him.
Forestieri in that position he likes to be.
And that's why we call them starting formations, isn't it, really? Because we had him started on the right, he started on the left, but we always knew he was going to find areas like that where he can be so effective. He just pulls it a fraction. But again, a little warning sign for Charlton. Cannot afford to allow him into those pockets.
Oztumer. Here's Harris. Fletcher. Hutchinson to Bannon. Fox is on his bike down that left side again. Here he is. Up against Bonne. Oh, and Forestieri pulling up. Bannon's cross. Fletcher's header! Goal for Sheffield Wednesday. A familiar tale. Sheffield Wednesday's headmaster is at it again.
Well, anybody would have thought that we'd have had a premonition or something before this game, because we pointed it out. We said it was going to be a danger. We said it was going to be an avenue that Sheffield Wednesday would exploit. Get the ball out wide, get good quality in, and Stephen Fletcher will provide. I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderful delivery from Bonne. He's on the move. Fletcher gets ahead of Naby Sarr. It's brilliant striking. Still got a lot to do. That is a fantastic header from one of the best headers of a ball in the Sky Bet Championship. I mean, look at the accuracy, look at the power. No chance for any goalkeeper in the world.
Well, a fantastic goal, but in the build-up to it, a moment of real concern. Forestieri's centre of the picture has pulled up and is receiving treatment on the field at the moment.
Well, you always worry when a player goes down, there's nobody near him, there's no challenge, it's all under his own steam, and it's almost as if his knee buckles, isn't it? And I'm not sure whether he saw that. Yes, he was watching on as Stephen Fletcher found the back of the net, but that is a concern.
Well, this is his first start under Gary Monk, going to be a fleeting experience. Less than 18 minutes on the clock. Well, the party spirit has been dampened a touch. Nuhiu, the tallest left winger in football at the moment.
Well, we spoke about how important the first goal would be, and for Sheffield Wednesday not to concede it, but Stephen Fletcher, fantastic header. If you get the quality into the area, you will profit from it. Of that there is absolutely no doubt. But Charlton, I don't think Charlton have won a game this season when they've conceded first, so they're going to have to venture into new territory.
It's the first time for everything, and very happily, particularly for the neutrals as well as the Wednesday fans, Forestieri back out there. Not at full pelt. Oshilaja. It's a good ball for Doughty.
To look at his movement, he gets across Naby Sarr. By the time the defender realises it's too little too late, Fletcher's got the run on him. Bannon's could deliver the quality, and that is a fantastic header. Absolutely outstanding header.
He's having a terrific season. And he may continue in similar vein here, involved once more. Forestieri wants it. Odebajo. There's Lockyer. Bonne. To Jonathan Lico. Maybe out of sight at West Bromwich Albion at the moment, but he's certainly not out of mind by any stretch of the imagination.
No, and rightly so. And the way that the style that West Bromwich Albion play as well, he would fit in absolutely wonderfully well. So this is all good news for West Bromwich Albion, that he's getting game time, scoring goals, making assists.
Sam Field as well here, who is one of those on the long list of absentees. Look at some of the names: Kayal, Hemed, Cullen, Lyle Taylor, Forster Caskey, Johnny Williams. I mean, which championship side wouldn't be ruining their absence?
It's not fringe players either. That is a shame for Charlton. These are seasoned players, most of whom would be in or near the first team, the first 11. Made it a very difficult period for Charlton and Lee Bowyer.
Most of those players know about getting out of the championship in the right direction. Here's Lico for Charlton. Just a little much. quite rightly, we are emphasising the terrific work he has done here at Charlton, with a free hand though on the football side because of the context of the ownership. That will be one interesting factor to see whether that does continue.
If it's not going to continue, then new owner there will probably have problems in keeping him. He may have problems in keeping him anyway. Highly regarded, done a remarkable job, Lee Bowyer, and that's a situation that does need resolving ASAP.
It's only because Queen Park Rangers came calling, really, that they got a contract sorted out for him recently, and that's by no means a long-term deal.
He's a young coach stroke manager who is going places. Don't worry about that.
Towards Oztumer, there's Lees. Aerial ball not his forte. Nuhiu, little tug, quite clear from Darren Pratley.
Got to be careful here, Charlton. They're just going through a little period where keeping possession, tangle of legs, Darren Pratley on Nuhiu, but Sheffield Wednesday just slowly taking control here.
Ball into not a bad area by Bannon. It wasn't an area populated by a blue and white shirt.
They're on different pages, really. They just need to settle it down here and have a little spell where they just look after the ball a little bit better. Giving it back to Sheffield Wednesday way too easily. Well, the one thing I will say about Lee Bowyer, he is not averse to changing things when he feels it's not going right, so we'll keep our eye on that.
Odebajo. Harris. Nuhiu and Fletcher in the area. Fox joining them. Fletcher's there again. Oh, Phillips reacts superbly. But what a let-off in the end. Forestieri should have gobbled that up.
Well, I'll tell you what, by the way, if Sheffield Wednesday do not win this game, that is the moment, because a conversation with him before the game was telling me about the chances that they're creating, big chances. Well, they don't get any bigger. Again, get the ball out wide, get the delivery in. Fletcher will win it. Fletcher does win it, forces a brilliant save from Dylan Phillips. And Forestieri, I can't offer any excuses. Can't offer any excuses. Has to find the back of the net with that.
Excellent work from Dylan Phillips. It was, though, absolutely all he could do. Then he's hoping and praying for that.
Well, that's a big break. That is a big moment. Especially for Charlton Athletic, saying they're just taking a little bit of control of this game. The away team. It's difficult as well. You go on a little run like this that Charlton are on, and Sheffield Wednesday are on one themselves, where you're not winning games. Confidence drains a bit.
That's confident play by Doughty, and a chance here for Bonne. Oh, it's in! Well, there is the break they were looking for. Doughty made it happen. Bonne, by hook or by crook, finished it off, and the mood is brighter once again around the valley.
Well, you have to say it's come out of absolutely nowhere. Fernando Forestieri, he's going to be the one feeling it the most, you have to say. Brilliant play, isn't it, by Doughty on this left-hand side. Makes the pick out. Bonne just checks his run. That's football intelligence from a very young player. He just checks his run, and that's why the Wednesday defence have afforded him the space. Good feet, sorts his feet out, prods it goalwards. Yes, element of luck, little deflection of Tom Lees, but Charlton do not care, and really, situation that could have been lost already is now very, very much in the balance. Game on.
Well, team that have had so little luck on the injury front lately. Little luck in the manner of the finish, but a lot to admire in an attacking sense from Charlton there. second attempt on goal in the game, but he is making the most of the chances he gets at the moment.
Absolutely is. Very, very intelligent striking play. If he carries on his run towards goal there, I think he doesn't get the ball. The chance is gone. He just checks, and the Sheffield Wednesday defenders do not check with him. Really intelligent. And this will please Lee Bowyer, the young player. You don't quite see it there. You see the touch, you see the finish, you see the goal, but it's the movement that impresses me.
It was no more than 75 seconds after Forestieri's miss, but they've given it away. Not for long. Oshilaja. He was a man on a mission to win it back there. Comprehensively did.
Again, they do say goals change games, and all of a sudden it looks like Charlton have a little bit of a spring in their step.
Bonne gave it away, but his diligence in getting it back applauded.
Like I said, a little bit of a spring in the step. They've all been so very different. Had Forestieri on the back of the net.
Wednesday 5 without a win, Charlton 6. Both have been riding high at points this season.
Sam Hutchinson, isn't it? Really combative.
Ostuma. Spread by Morgan. Lockyer. Here's Bonne. Kadeem Harris with his foot down on the gas here, but the situation read by Doughty.
Excellent covering. And again, that cross, that assist, that will do his confidence. Power of good as well, young man.
Play there, or can play in midfield on the left side. What a difference a few seconds can make in a game of football.
Remarkable, isn't it, really? You give Fernando Forestieri this opportunity from Fletcher's header and the save. Give him that 1,000 times. I reckon 999 times he will score, but in the blink of an eye, talk about fine margins. Again, that's where Bonne just checks his run. Fine, fine margins, particularly for Gary Monk. He will be ruining that miss at this moment.
Familiar tale, but not one he'll be warming to. Chances, and really good chances, not being taken. Ostuma, here's Doughty again. Macaulay Bonne, Pratley, Ostuma. Matthews with a lot of room on that far side. Morgan will look for him now. Pratley finding a bit of space in the box there. Lico. Matthews. Oshilaja. Matthews again. Oshilaja. Can't succeed getting the better of Nikai Orford. Lico lost out. What a Baggio.
Uses his body well there, Moses Odebajo, to bring that little bit of pressure to a halt. And since that goal, what it's done for Charlton. Playing with confidence.
Painful moment here for Deji Oshilaja. Head injury has to stop the game immediately. Well, he doesn't need any more in that department, does he, Lee Bowyer? And they've instituted a policy for these early kickoffs of staying in a hotel overnight, and they had a few wake up feeling less than good this morning in that hotel. So all kinds of issues. They hope this is not going to add to the list.
First impressions are that he's probably going to be okay. It's one of those for Lee Bowyer, isn't it? It doesn't rain, but it absolutely pours. One thing after another. Plethora of injured players there. Important players as well, and that's why it's been important for them just to hang on in there. I don't think the start has been bad, even collectively, really. I think that if you'd have offered Charlton and the fans and Lee Bowyer and the players where they are at this precise moment in the season, before a ball was kicked and they'd gone and beaten in 6, I think they'd have probably took it.
Well, as ever, a busy weekend of live action for you on Sky Sports from the Premier League tonight. Southampton against Watford, both certainly needing an upturn in fortune there. 5 o'clock, Sky Sports Premier League. Tomorrow it's Norwich against Arsenal, without Unai Emery, of course. 1 o'clock, Sky Sports Premier League. And our final offering on Sunday, Leicester City riding high against Everton. 4 o'clock the programme begins for that. And if you can, try it out in Ultra HD. Two Charlton players colliding, and Darren Pratley was less than pleased with that. Here's Harris.
The debate goes on. Darren Pratley and Lico. Fortunately, no harm done. He felt there was a good situation developing here. You can see his reaction, the captain. I don't think Jonathan Lico was arguing back with him, do you?
No, he's learned that enough, and quickly enough. Here's Matthews. Bonne.
Well, I praised him for his goal and his decision-making, but he shouldn't be trying to score from that delivery, to be fair. Never in a million years. There's lots of space over there on that right-hand side, isn't there? Ball whipped in. He's certainly got to be looking to help it onto a teammate, maybe, or try and control it.
Nuhiu. There's Doughty. Jerry closing down like a demon there to try to get there. Bonne.
Brilliant.
There's Fox. Shalaja. Not unfamiliar territory out there. He can play right back, centre back. That's Bonne. Iorfa. Lees towards Nuhiu. Pratley. Oztumer. And into Doughty. Oztumer. Doughty again. Loose by Morgan. They're grateful that it lead his team to harm. This is Lico. Oztumer. Now Morgan. Oshilaja. Matthews. 4 in the box here. Well, there's a little answer to those who question his defensive work.
He's right though. I mean, if you get the ball and you're being confronted by Fernando Forestieri, you should be trying to take him on. Harris.
He's sticking to the task and preventing the corner too. Brilliant work.
Absolutely phenomenal defending. I'd say since he made that assist, you can see his performance levels have gone up, confidence flowing through his veins.
Well, remember, he's starting a game at this level for the first time.
Doesn't look it now, does it?
The not unfamiliar sight of a yellow card for Sam Hutchinson.
Well, I think once Tim Robinson deemed that this is a foul, I think he probably has to give Sam Hutchinson a yellow card. Claims he gets the ball, but I think he makes the foul first, so goes there through Odsomer, through the legs, hooks the ball. The referee deems that the contact is there first.
And well, fortunately, it's not going to place him in jeopardy today, but unless he makes another, of course. But nearing a 2-game ban for the next yellow card he receives.
There's a big debate going on between 3-4 players there. I wonder if there's a bit of kidology here off the training ground. They know exactly what's going on. We've seen that before.
Well, does Oztumer fancy it? Oh, something different, Morgan.
Shame, the first bit's good. The second bit's not. Let's leave it at that, shall we? Off the training ground. It's better than that.
Work better on the training ground, which
always does.
It is a little bit of a subplot, but the question of the ownership of the Valley and the training ground, they will transfer to the new owners. Worth making that point. Charlton have had to leave the Valley twice in their history for various reasons. Good play, a painful play for Forestieri. Baggio. Forestieri is claiming or complaining to officialdom on the touchline that they've got an arm or something in the face.
Lovely skill, and then he just gets blocked off there. It's just a little handoff. Not too much in it.
Matthews. Bannon did well. Tenacity to go with the talent, and Bannon might get there again. Dylan Phillips read the situation and took action.
Yeah, Harry Bannon's come off second best here. I was just thinking that Sheffield Wednesday hadn't caused Charlton any problems since the equaliser, but he's out very, very quickly. And it's the fact that the goalkeeper goes with his feet. He's perfectly entitled to do so, but Harry Bannon's ankle slides and slips before the contact, actually. No blame affiliated to Dylan Phillips. It's brilliant goalkeeping. A bit of a painful one for Barry Bannon.
Had lengthy treatment for Forestieri, and it's another of their top talents, about whom Gary Monk has plenty of concern at the moment.
It's just the way his ankle rolled over. Doesn't look good.
Short-handed Sheffield Wednesday, though, will get on with it.
It's a great situation. Has to do better. Spins round the back. It's got a free header.
Zyorfa's header. Bannon back on his feet, which is positive.
I speak from experience. One of those things when you roll your ankle is if you can get through to half-time, you can get a proper good strapping on it that will support it and perhaps get you through the second half. It's the aftermath of that, of course, that is the danger. Seems to be moving okay on the far side, though. A little jog and he's back on.
He's back on.
Going to be sore.
He's just testing it. Certainly not happy, but he's willing.
Like I say, look at the clock and you see it's 3 minutes to get through to half-time here.
Jerry on the move, and in the way was Dylan Phillips.
Well, he's not happy again, Forestieri. He feels that Phillips has cleared it and continued the follow-through, and he catches Forestieri in the back, and only really Dylan Phillips knows. There you go. A little bit extra.
Yeah, a little bit of extra free.
Yeah.
Not a Baggio. Hutchinson. Bannon. Fletcher again, the Wednesday goal scorer, if you've joined the slate. Fox.
What a ball, though. What a ball, the vision, and that's why Gary Monk was looking on concerningly. Of all the players that you won't want to lose, say he'd be at the top of your list.
Well, the ankle might not be working properly, but the foot certainly is. Naby Sarr. There's Bonne. Nuhiu. That was Morgan. That's a good ball too for Oztumer through the gap. That's too much of Lico, though.
Well, the only reason he has too much is because Tom Lees used all his experience and he anticipated where that ball was going to go. It is absolutely brilliant defending from Tom Lees.
He's got his opportunity because of Julian Berner's suspension. Berner has been proved a fantastic signing so far. Arminia Bielefeld, but shouldn't forget what a stalwart figure Tom Lees has been for Sheffield Wednesday. Kadeem Harris. He's been afforded an opportunity here, but Tom Lockyer denies him.
Well, Gary Monk turned away almost in disgust because it's a poor decision, really. There were so many better options for Kadeem Harris, and that decision-making, that's what separates the good players from the very good players and what separates the very good to the best. It's that decision-making.
Doughty. Ashley goes on. Lees only to Oztumer. Pratley at the back of the box. Oztumer. Bonne, Lees. Fletcher. Gets a free kick.
Well, Sam Hutchinson, if he doesn't get a yellow card for that, I think Sam Hutchinson has got every right to have a little moan, really. Again, he's not one of those players that will stay down. Just barges him off the ball. no intent to play the ball. And this is a situation, there's a couple of runs here, one on the inside. Can you reverse now? Fletcher would get a strike at goal. You're on your weak foot, the angle's against you, you've got a defender to shoot through. Odds aren't great, really.
And Fletcher, who's struggling after that coming together with Oshalaja. They're close again. Well, 3, that's not full health for Sheffield Wednesday. Kadeem Harris struggling to get through. Lee Bowyer might say, well, welcome to my world, the Wednesday injuries, but here's Forestieri. The opening, the block by Lockyer. And again.
Best little spell for Sheffield Wednesday for quite some while, actually. Finishing the half off well, despite their little walking wounded.
Well, Fox has got in behind here. Matthews back with him. The break is kind. Harris.
Fletcher limping away. He really is struggling.
Oh. The whistle blows. Well, he did his usual trick. Stephen Fletcher coming up with the opening goal to gate crash the party somewhat. But some tremendous work from Alfie Doughty and a finish from Macaulay Bonne put Charlton on terms. This patched up Charlton side have competed well. And at the break, it is Charlton 1, Wednesday 1.
Half-time here at the Valley, Charlton 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Chris Powell alongside me. And Chris, let's look at the goals, shall we? And with 1-0, we talked about how aerially they'd be very strong Wednesday. We also talked about the quality of Barry Bannon. Yeah. Did we see that with the goal?
We certainly did, yeah. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday settled, I felt, pretty well. And Bannon actually started off the move out to Morgan Fox. But it's a great delivery. If you make a cross in the middle of the goal, a centre forward like Fletcher eats that up all day long, and it was just he attacked it, got across Naby Sarr, brilliant header. Dylan Phillips couldn't do anything about it.
Only Ollie Watkins in the Championship this season has more headed goals than Stephen Fletcher. A wonderful header. Now, games are defined on moments, aren't they? What do you think about the moment of Fernando Forestieri missing?
Well, I think Gary Monk will be thinking we should be 2-0 up or even 2-1. I mean, it's a really, really poor miss. Good build-up play. The only time Harris has beaten Doughty's been very good. He just dived in, great cross, brilliant header, good save, but that should be 2-0. I mean, he's a quality player, Forestieri. Great ball in by Harris. He heads it down, but I'm almost thinking he thinks it's in before he's hit it. And
almost too easy. Not
in many ways, and you've got to focus. You've got to, as you say, those moments are key to winning a football match. And what was it, 75 seconds later?
75 seconds later.
It goes 1-1.
It goes 1-1.
And that's the difference between making sure you go 2-0 up. And it's a great goal because Doughty, who's a converted left-back, he shows his prowess as a left winger. Gets the ball in the area. It's not the greatest ball, but Bonne makes it his and toes it in. I mean, it's great here. Odebajiu, really, as a full-back, he's not going to make it. He should back off. But Doughty gets into the area, gets the ball into the area, and Bonne, slight deflection. Iorfa misses it. Good first touch. Just gets a slight deflection off Tom Lees. Makes it 1-1.
Lowell Taylor clearly is a big miss here, but Macaulay Bonne has 6 in 11 now, and last season he was playing non-league football.
Yeah.
How well is he playing right now?
I've got to say, he started off really slowly, and I spoke to Johnny Jackson about him, and he just said there's something there we can work with. And he's been given a chance because of Lowell Taylor's injury, and actually he's grown into it. He scored some vital goals away at Fulham, home to Leeds, and you can only gain confidence from that. And for a player who was playing in the conference last year, now Championship, he's settled in really well, and he'll get the support here, and he's leading the line and leading it well.
So from what you've seen in the first half, what's your feeling on the second?
Well, I've got to say, Charlton, with injury ravage, illness, they've made a real good fist of it. I think Sheffield Wednesday will look to get Harris into the game more to deliver the crosses. He's having a good battle with Doughty. But they're attacking the home end, Charlton, and I think we'll see them step up a bit more and actually take a few more risks in trying to win the game.
Finally poised, without doubt, here at the Valley. Sheffield Wednesday went 1-0 up thanks to Stephen Fletcher. What a goal scorer he is, certainly with his head. It should have been 2. Fernando Forestieri with a massive miss, and 75 seconds later, back come Charlton. Good game here at the Valley, 1 apiece. It stands Sheffield Wednesday with a great start. Stephen Fletcher putting them 1-0 up. A terrible miss from Fernando Forestieri. The player of his quality shouldn't be missing that. 75 seconds later, back came Charlton for Carly Bonne, and this is finally poised. Well, Super 6 is back again today with Premier League and EFL action. Don't forget to enter before kick-off to be in with a chance of winning the £250,000 jackpot. All you have to do is download the app for free and pick the correct scores of the 6 fixtures shown on screen to land the 250 grand. Free to play, and entries need to be in by 3. And day 3 of the second test between New Zealand and England starts later tonight. 9:30, England 1-0 down, 39 for 2 after New Zealand posted 375 all out. Well, Charlton fans want to cap a great couple of days with a victory today. It would be a first in 7 for them. Wednesday fans are looking for a first in 6. They should have been 2-0 up, but will they go back to Yorkshire with a victory? We'll find out next. With news of a substitution, let's get back to Don Goodman and Daniel Mann.
Yes, thank you, Scott. Happily for Sheffield Wednesday, it's just the one, because there are a few concerns at half-time. That's Jacob Murphy, who has, though, replaced the man who so often sprinkles the stardust, Fernando Forestieri. Fletcher and Bonne back out there, despite their first-half troubles. So 1-1. Talking of Forestieri, it could have been oh so different. Should have been oh so different. But his team let the opposition off the hook again.
It's a big moment, but that was the area where his team managed to hurt Charlton, wasn't it? Getting the ball out wide, getting quality delivery in to the penalty area a couple of times. It's been Fletcher getting on the end of crosses. Got Nuhiu in there as well. So I think that is something that they have to try and do more of, Sheffield Wednesday.
It's Harris, who might be a touch relieved to be playing down the left rather than up against Alfie Doughty. This is Jacob Murphy's challenge now in the second half. Here is Murphy. Here is Doughty up against Bonne. Bonne comes out the winner. But Oshilaja is on hand. The words, it's almost like a lengthy, fairly lengthy medical briefing, isn't it, from the Sheffield Wednesday dressing room. Apparently no major treatment on Barry Bannon's ankle, but Fernando Forestieri has tweaked his medial ligaments in his knee. So
there are different levels. There are different levels of that. So from Sheffield Wednesday's perspective, you just hope that's nothing too serious and something that might inconvenience him for a week and no more.
Bonne on the chase.
It's a couple of times now that Charlton have tried to put it in behind Dominic Iorfa. If I were advising him, I'd say just forget that one, because that's not an avenue, that's not a race that you are going to win. He's such an athlete. Dominic Iorfa will always control those types of situations.
Almost another opponent at times, so goalkeeper at that end, and Cameron Dawson has deployed the cap.
I was surprised Dylan Phillips didn't, actually, as we were walking round to the gantry. before the kick-off. I looked up and the sun was dazzling, really shining brightly in the eyes.
Fletcher. Lockyer is in charge. And only to Bonne. Oh, we fall to Pratley though. And a free kick.
There's been a battle in that midfield area, hasn't it? Plenty of experienced players in there as well.
Here's Tom Lockyer. Kept in.
I was looking for Alfie Doughty there, wasn't he? Dylan Phillips.
Ostuma. Turned on by Murphy. Fletcher was unhappy. Referee in the end playing advantage as Sheffield Wednesday seek to take advantage. Karim Harris. Bonne. Oh, and work for Phillips to do.
Excellent all-round at Sheffield Wednesday. Thought Stephen Fletcher should have had a free kick for a high boot, but Karim Harris really attacks Adam Matthews. First engagement, forward does well. It's a decent effort. Comfortable save.
Nuhiu near post. Liko trying to get his body in front of Harris. That's Iorfa. Hutchinson. Odebajo. Into Murphy. Two big strikers still in the box. Well, Sheffield Wednesday supporters baying for blood. No reaction other than a glance at the official from Karim Harris.
Yeah, I'm looking at Karim Harris's reaction, and it's making me think that maybe the referee got that right, whereas I was at Watford-Burnley last week, and Ashley Barnes just nipped in front of a defender and was caught and got a penalty. It wasn't dissimilar, really. Having said that, from that angle, it doesn't look too much contact, really. Referee has got a decent view of it, and I think he's come up with the right decision there.
Nuhiu. Odebajo. And he'll get it back, Moses Odebajo.
He's really snatched at that, hasn't he? Almost in a panic, rushed it. But on the front foot at the start of the second half, and that will please Gary Monk. So they went into their shell a little bit after the Charlton equaliser.
Get on with it is the message from the referee. Oshilaja. It's Nabi Sarr. Ostuma.
He went the wrong way. He had Alfie Doughty steaming up that left-hand side.
Nuhiu. Harris. Next Cardiff confrontation here. Harris away from Matthews. Bonne for Wednesday. Odebajo moving forward. Up against Albi Morgan this time.
I've just looked at Barry Bonne. He's put his hands on his face and bent down in real disappointment, because once he rolls that out, I'm not sure whether Moses Odebajo needs to have a touch. Imagine, just cast your mind back to how they scored that first goal. It was rolled back, it was whipped in first time, And as a striker, if you know a player's going to do that, it doesn't half give you an advantage. You can get on the move, get across your defenders, and it gives you an advantage.
Header by Bonne. Nuhiu. And on to Murphy. Fletcher in the box. Doughty trying to does succeed in stopping the cross. Hutchinson. Odebajo now for Wednesday. Bannon. Fox making strides down this near side. Tom Lees can get involved. Fox, Harris. Harris.
Well, I know nothing came of that, but I think he's having more touches in the second half already than he did in the first half. Kadeem Harris is clearly fancying a bit more of his chances against Adam Matthews than he did against Alfie Doherty, because Sheffield Wednesday really are getting on the front foot now. They're dominating the ball and they're doing it in the right areas most of the time.
The game really is being played in Charlton territory at the moment, in the shade. Charlton supporters, the most vocal of them gathered in the covered end to our right. They've only got a long distance view of the game at the moment, and a nervous one. Bannon now to Dominic Iorfa. He was blocked off perhaps by Sarr. There are enough bodies around him.
Again, I know that it didn't come to anything. I think he's a player that should do that a little bit more often, Dominic Iorfa, step out with the ball. Space opens up for him and he's so quick. He thinks, yes, I'll have a little bit of that. Gets crowded out, nothing in that, but certainly an area we can try and do more in.
Fletcher neatly done. Bannon. Is Murphy onside? Yes. Gloriously found by Bannon. Nuhiu arriving. And safety first by Jonathan Leacoat.
I have to say Adam Matthews does well. You watch the right back here, number 2 in your screen there. Brilliant run, brilliant ball, onside. But watch Adam Matthews now. He sees where the danger is, and it's Nuhiu, and he goes in, look, gets his body in between. Brilliant defending.
Well, some good options here. Defended solidly by Matthews. Murphy, Bannon, he will deliver with his left foot, and it always needs defending when he does. There's Macaulay Bonne who did that defending. Helped on neatly there by Iorfa. Nuhiu. Fox was in there. Naby Sarr had to get there for Charlton.
Well, they're not enjoying any controlled possession whatsoever now, Charlton, and that's credit to Sheffield Wednesday. Really are pushing Charlton back. That is one-way traffic in reality. They've got the ball, can they keep it? Don't really have to go anywhere with it or do anything with it, but just enjoy a bit of possession, take the sting out of that momentum. perfect, right on cue. Just what the doctor ordered.
He's a little calmer, for the moment at least. Can Liko get away? He's got help in the shape of Oztumer. Wednesday confident and calm on the ball and hoping to be more threatening than they might have been, but it is Odebajo more threatening than they were. But here is Hutchinson. Nuhiu's got space.
Oh yeah, it took too long, Sam Hutchinson. He allowed the defender to close him down when he had Nuhiu, he had Fletcher, he had Kadeem Harris in there. Look, now do that quicker. The touch, get the ball in quicker, but it gives Oztumer a chance to get the block in.
Murphy just got away from Oztumer, but Matthews won it. Iorfa. Some neat feet initially there. This is Harris. 5 in the area with him, and Bannon on the edge. And Bannon, Matthews again with another important header. And that's been presented to Harris, but Matthews again.
I think he's hurt his ankle as well in making that block.
Well, the one thing you would say, you don't want another injury. At least there is some seasoned cover on the bench for his position, I suppose.
As he gets this block in, and there's a tangle of legs as well. I think it is the tangle of legs that does the damage there. Look.
So Albie Morgan, his afternoon comes to a close. Recalled from a loan spell at Ebbsfleet because of this injury crisis, and it means an opportunity is handed to James Vennings, who makes his first team debut here for Charlton, another teenager. (19 years of age). Morgan heading for the tunnel.
We weren't disclosed which of the starting 11 weren't feeling very well, but I just wonder if he was one of them. It makes sense.
Well, they lost Ben Purrington, who was due to start at left-back today, ahead of Alfie Doughty when the teams came in. Doughty was a substitute. And they lost Ashley Maynard-Brewer, their current reserve goalkeeper as well. But we were told there were a few more that were feeling some effects of it. Oshilaja, determination taking him a long way. And play on, the verdict. Morgan Fox playing Wednesday away from immediate trouble, and then not on the move for Kadeem Harris's pass.
Well, first little spell in the second half for Charlton.
Lovely ball by Oztumer. This is Doughty on the attack again, and Oztumer gets there.
Looked like Barry Bannon was about to make a challenge there. Pulled out at the last seconds, Barry Bannon. A penalty, but absolutely not. Gets up and gets on with it, almost flummoxed. Jacob Murphy, who kind of stops there, look, and then he decides to get up and carry on. Again, player reaction.
Fletcher, Nuhiu.
Stephen Fletcher, frustrated again, not for the first time. He was on.
Sarr has to defend it. With also Hutchinson here. Oh, an absolute present for him.
Well, they're having so many good situations. You can understand. I think it's a recurring theme. Gary Monk bemoaning really the fact that these situations aren't being turned into perhaps the volume of goals that maybe they should be.
Lico. Will he get the free kick? Yes, he will.
Can they get Jonathan Lico on the ball a bit more often than he has been in this match? Because that's the kind of thing he can do.
So young Vennings having a say over this free kick with Oztumer. Oztumer to play it in and helped on by Bonne.
Comfortable really for Sheffield Wednesday.
Fox. Bannon. Hutchinson. Here's Lees. Bannon. Matthews again has the measure of Harris on this occasion. Oshalaja, but that was short and loose and maybe costly. It's Kadeem Harris who'll go himself and is denied by Phillips. Fletcher was waiting.
Well, best save of the day from Dylan Phillips here. Ball given away again. Bannon intercepts it. Sets Kadeem Harris on his way. I think he's a little bit wide and the angle's against him, but he gets plenty of power. It needs a good save.
Fletcher at that near post, having to improvise.
Well, another big moment. Sheffield Wednesday is asking most of the questions. And Kadeem Harris, you think the angle's against him, but he does get plenty of power. That is a fine save, a really strong left hand from Dylan Phillips. Keeps the game all square. Outstanding goalkeeping. Another one bites the dust.
It's goalkeeping of a standard that's been very regular from Dylan Phillips. Oztumer. Macaulay Bonne to Oshalaja. Doughty. Uses Vennings by not using him. Here's Oztumer. Naby Sarr. Here is Vennings. Pratley. Oztumer. It's a foul by Odebajo.
See, I don't know whether it's the era that I played in, but it looked all right to me, that, to be fair. Say, does he? Well, absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Call me old-fashioned, and I know you do.
Most weeks. Oztumer hurt.
Well, is it going to be deja vu? Are his team going to look at that? So much more on the front foot, so many more genuine goal-scoring opportunities, and yet his team find themselves all level here. Is there more frustration to come?
Need a break. All of their games have, or a lot of their games have been very tight Wednesday. To lose by more than a goal in the league. as Darren Pratley is called over by Lee Bowyer. Well, the 2 goals came in the first 45. Stephen Fletcher up to his old tricks again.
Yeah, I'll say this one was more predictable of the two. Wonderful delivery from Bonne and an absolute textbook striker's header. And then the equaliser, it's all about Doughty getting forward, element of good fortune, but Bonne in the right place at the right time. And he was having a strong impact, wasn't he, young Alfie Doughty? In that first half, he was able to bomb forward and really push Kadeem Harris further back. Not so much in the second half.
He's having a go at Murphy here, though. It's nothing out of it.
Those chances to get forward have been few and far between. Most of those touches in the opposition half occurred in that first half. Decisively in that assist that he created.
Nuhiu not taking kindly to the decision against him.
Well, he's a big man, he can't really go under the radar, can he, unfortunately? So if you are going to nudge somebody, then at least try and be a little bit more subtle about it.
It's not the word that tends to spring to mind at Nuhiu. Does have his qualities, of course, but subtlety.
One of the reasons that Oshilaja has been put in is to guard that little scenario, and he's done it well, hasn't he, Oshilaja, you have to say. Left Nuhui frustrated on more than one occasion.
Started in that role against Cardiff City in the last home game. Showing his versatility again today. Vennings. Bonne.
See, he's just getting a little more and more isolated, isn't he, young Macaulay Bonne? Front. Try and do something about that.
Wednesday won it back. Fletcher, Bannon, Harris. Works the angle for the shot.
Crowd not happy, they feel like Nuhui fouled in the build-up to that. Again, we've seen him do it more than one occasion this season. Cut inside, try and find that far corner. Doesn't quite come off. But they're getting closer. That will worry Lee Bowyer a little bit. To say in the second half, Cameron Dawson has been a relative spectator and he will want his team to work that Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper a bit more than they've been able to.
Hutchinson always walking the line.
Already on a yellow.
Challenge on Oztumer.
I think for Sam Hutchinson, this is the last chance saloon. He knows straight away, he kicks right through the back, and 9 times out of 10 a referee's going to give you a yellow card for that.
But not a second yellow card.
Quite perchance, no.
So is Dawson going to face a test here? Vennings to take the kick. Well, Lockyer charged forward. Was he impeded there by Iorfa? That's the question he's asking, and a few thousand more are asking. Here's Harris now for Wednesday. Adam Matthews. Here's Lico looking for a way out. Bannon hunting it down. There's Fox.
Well, again, first impressions, and that's all I've got at the moment, is that Tom Lockyer goes down really easily. Wrong side of Iorfa. The referee's got a great view of it again. There's no upper body contact. It just begs the question whether there's an accidental tangle of legs, but certainly he didn't see anything wrong with it, didn't spot anything. It's the most important thing.
Well, he's not had a clutch of angry red-shirted men in his face, so... Murphy took a chance. And it allowed Oztumer and then Doughty to swarm around him. Here's Doughty once more for Charlton.
Came back off him, unfortunately.
Oztumer, who has picked up more than the odd knock in this second half, is down again.
Well, he's holding his left hamstring there, so we've seen him take a couple of blows to the back of the calf, but if that is a hamstring, I mean, how unlucky can you be if you leave Bowyer? This is getting outrageous now.
Well, the squad here is being absolutely pushed to its very limits, and it may be the first job come January for Matt Southall, the prospective Charlton chairman, part of the new consortium.
Yeah. Well, you've got this injury crisis, and that's what it is. I think it's fair to say it's an absolute crisis, and then the games come thick and fast at this time of the year. I mean, they really, really do. Congested period. The last thing he needs is any more injuries.
Well, they may have to rely on Lee Bowyer and Johnny Jackson there to put their boots on again if they're not too careful, although
to be fair,
they could both certainly make an impact.
I was going to say, they both look fit enough, to be fair. If he's tweaked his hamstring, he's got to come off. I mean, it's not something you can run off or play through. Again, I can speak from personal experience. The one thing the stoppages have done, you know, and it's more by accident, is it's just broken up that rhythm that Sheffield Wednesday were getting into.
Oztumer is back out there. And here's Pratley. Well, just the foot down on the accelerator for those few crucial yards there from Iorfa. So often enough to get them out of any trouble, Sheffield Wednesday.
Witness the pace of Dominic Iorfa there. There's only really one winner in a straight foot race.
So Sam Hutchinson's afternoon is over.
Well, it's a wise move, I have to say, by Gary Monk. He cannot run the risk that A, Hutchinson gets sent off, and B, misses more games.
So Massimo Luongo is his replacement.
Well, we're into that all-important final 15 minutes when so many goals are scored. Sheffield Wednesday have suffered recently, actually, late goals. Blackburn, West Bromwich Albion, to name but a couple.
Nuhiu the target. Naby Sarr rose in towering fashion. Son of a striker, Naby Sarr. A very prolific one for Marseille and Paris Saint-Germain, no less. Jacob Murphy couldn't find a way through. Oshilaja made sure of that. Up towards Bonne.
Absolutely brilliant work. He has been exceptional, I have to say. Just shielding and protecting that back four.
Now Matthews, who's been tested defensively in this second half, now looking to test Wednesday going the other way. Lico. No change out of Fox. Here's Harris. Fletcher wants it ahead of him. He'll find Nuhiu. Murphy with Odebajo there to help him. And he's away from Oztumer. Referee taking his time and pointing to the spot.
Well, I have to say, given the pause that Tim Robinson took there, I believe that he must have got information from the assistant referee. And it was unequivocally the assistant referee's call. He has to be the one to make that decision. He's close, he's got an unobstructed view. And this is horrible for Oztumer. 1v1 against one of the quickest players out there, carrying a bit of a hamstring injury. He has a lunge, he doesn't get the ball. I think it has to be a penalty, as much as Charlton will protest. I think the assistant referee had no choice but to inform Tim Robinson.
So Adrian Waters doing what it says on the tin, assisting the referee. And it has to be Fletcher. Who coolly beats Dylan Phillips. And Sheffield Wednesday in front again.
Well, ironically, Darren Prattley is saying that Sheffield Wednesday players were encroaching. Now we know it's not the Premier League, we know we haven't got VAR. Interesting one. Hard for the officials to police, really, but how calm is this? Cool as you like. And then he has a word with Dylan Phillips. I'm not really sure what that is all about, the aftermath. He stays calm, puts the ball in the back of the net. Yeah, not really sure what's been said previous to that. Here's the penalty. Tim Robinson needs help from the assistant referee, and certainly gets it, and comes up between them with the right decision.
Well, there's a yellow card brandished by referee Tim Robinson while we were looking at the replays. And the goalkeeper Dylan Phillips has been cautioned. It was a very curious exchange, if we can call it that, between he and Stephen Fletcher.
Yeah, something's gone on, whether it's just before the penalty, whether something was said, whether it's during the game earlier on, I don't know, but something has gone on between the two players.
Well, something has gone on, someone has come on. Adam Reach for Sheffield Wednesday. Looks as though he's come on for Kadeem Harris.
Well, they picked themselves up once before. Can they do it again, Charlton?
Lico. Vennings. Doughty. Well, Davison competing to tee up Lico.
Trying hard, aren't they? Substitute holds the ball up, gets it to Jonathan Lico. Not a bad effort, to say.
Yes, Josh Davison suddenly popping up. He's replaced Nuhui Oztumer, whose injury struggles we have noted. Davison arrived from Enfield last month. Time at Peterborough on his CV.
I wonder if it's one of those things that they regret not taking Oztumer off straight away, because clearly he was struggling. There was a problem. Had no chance up against the pace of Jacob Murphy. Ultimately costly.
Davison now the focal point of their attack. He's come off the bench a couple of times before now. And Phillips together again. There is Davison. Oh, there wasn't too much of a chance in the end, but it was a risk to take.
Well, he's very lucky there, Tom Lees. Played it back to the keeper blind.
Bonne wasn't able to cash in. Murphy's cross.
Oh, thumbs up from Stephen Fletcher, because Fletcher probably knows that that's an area he should have attacked.
Nuhiu will be penalised.
And maybe more than penalised, in fact, yep. I think the message is clear. The reason why.
Fox. Reach chasing. Matthews. Naby Sarr. Doughty making progress. Oshilaja onto his left foot and struck with real venom.
Oh, what a good effort that is. First reflection was, why didn't you shoot first time? But actually the touch is brilliant. He gets the ball onto his favoured left foot. It's a super strike, just can't keep it down.
Well, those in the covered end would perhaps like Cameron Dawson to be less leisurely, but that's life, I'm afraid. Oshilaja. Sarr. Vennings after it.
I think it's to be no-risk football now, surely, for Sheffield Wednesday. Play the percentages and manage this game situation. There's plenty of experience out there, isn't there, really?
Battered away by Sarr. It's almost 7 years since they won on this ground, Sheffield Wednesday. It's not been a regular date in the diary. But by reach. It was 2-1 the last time they won here, and they've managed it even though they had some fella called Prutton playing in midfield for them.
And his hair.
His hair was actually short. I had a look at the footage the other day, so... Doughty's put plenty into this. That's in threatening fashion. Tom Lee's on the end of it for Wednesday. Vennings. Sarr. Oh, Fletcher, not the best of touches. Lee's away, fired in by Matthews. Fletcher made up for it with the block. Oshilaja. Again. And for Doughty, promise here. Oh, and taken off Davison's head by Lees. This is Matthews. Vennings. Oshilaja.
Tell you what, it's a terrific effort from Charlton. Listen, it's really appreciated by these home supporters. They're right behind this young team, injury-ravaged team.
Naby Sarr's made the trip here on the near post. Fox away. Doughty able to get there. Oshilaja. Doughty.
you what, they're sitting back a little bit for me, Sheffield Wednesday. Everybody behind the ball, which means when they get it, they haven't really gotten out, and it keeps coming back here.
Bonne is battling, but Tom Lee's won that battle. Odebajo under pressure from Lockyer. And the pressure that he thought had paid results in a Wednesday free kick.
He's absolutely fuming, and frustration gets the better of Tom Lockyer. You can understand it, really. It's been a frustrating afternoon. Disagrees with that, and you can see why. There's not an awful lot of contact, but you can't react like that, unfortunately, for him. Not without seeing a yellow card, anyway.
Well, and not without its significance, because he will miss the next match against Middlesbrough. Well, they lost Darren Pratley for a game recently. They have lost Conor Gallagher, their oh-so-talented midfielder on loan from Chelsea today. Just to add to the barrel load of problems they already have.
Yeah, it's a shame, really.
Here's Reach. And again. Bonne. Luongo to Murphy.
It's much better game management, isn't it? Controlled possession, surely the order of the day.
Powell, assistant referee.
He's in a hurry now, Dylan Phillips, but he was involved in that thing with Stephen Fletcher.
Yes, which we're itching to clear up for you.
Well, it was a mystery at the time, wasn't it? But before the penalty is taken, there you go, look, bit of gamesmanship. He's in Stephen Fletcher's ear, pats him on the back. And therefore you can understand that when this happens, that's the reaction you're going to get. Not sure why he was booked for that, though. Booked after the penalty, wasn't he?
Yeah,
that's the mystery.
We're running back to the middle. Here's Nuhiu. He's got what he wanted. Certainly not what Charlton wanted in added time here at the Valley.
You look at all the experience out there in the blue and white stripes of Sheffield Wednesday, and they've made it difficult for Lee Bowyer this afternoon. It's been a valiant effort, you have to say, when you look at all the injuries, suspensions, illness, put it all in, and really they shouldn't have had any chance here, but they've given a real good account of themselves, and it may all be in vain, unfortunately, for them.
Davison looking to spin away. Nuhiu. Fletcher. Murphy. There's a foul by James Vennings. Into the corner it goes. Clock ticking away on Charlton here today. Given their lot, is there just a little more? Are there a few more drops in the can? Abby Sarr up there to add his presence to the attack. This is Doughty. Lockyer. They keep going. Nico pulling away.
Moses Odebajo should be a relieved man, because I said that they wouldn't take any risks, and he did. He gave the ball away. He didn't put his foot through it, but his team have won it back for him.
Murphy was fouled, advantage played, and this is Bannon. And Reach Bannon. Reaching behind. Fletcher's waiting. Nuhiu's waiting! And seals it for Sheffield Wednesday. Well, they've well and truly gate-crashed the party today. And returned to winning ways.
Well, you have to say, as valiant as an effort it has been from Charlton Athletic and his young team, is really ravaged team. I think the right team has taken the 3 points away from here in terms of the quality of the chances that they've created, the situations that they've had. He's onside, gets to the byline, great run from Fletcher, pulls the defenders with him to the near post, and look, he's got the awareness just to lift it to the far post, and it's almost on a plate. Powers the header past Dylan Phillips and seals the deal, and that'll be a relief, make no mistake, that will be a relief.
A much-needed victory. Nuhiu, always the man for the late show. His 3 goals this season, all 90 minutes or later. And heads they win.
Yeah. Well, 1 point off the playoffs. That's the reward.
Well, things can quickly turn when you have that kind of quality in your ranks. Stephen Fletcher with a classic header to open the scoring, a coolly taken penalty to make it 2, and Nuhiu to make sure when there may have been a few fluttering nerves at the very end. Charlton, to use your word, Don, and a very apt word it is too, a valiant effort. Bonne with that equalising goal. With their depleted resources, they emerge with credit from the contest, and sadly for them, on this occasion, which began in a mood of celebration with the prospective change in ownership announced, has ended in the disappointment of defeat.
Yeah, it has for Lee Bowyer, and it's a job for him. He's going to have to pick his boys up, because they have been under the cosh in terms of resources, in terms of numbers. The games are coming thick and fast, and you just hope that Lee Bowyer and Charlton can get some of those injuries back out there on the pitch in the not too distant future. That's for Sheffield Wednesday. Genuine playoff contenders as far as I'm concerned, and they got what they deserved today, and that's the 3 points.
Heading in the right direction in more ways than one. Started with the front 2 today, and both of them on the score sheet. But as ever, the man who pulls the strings and makes it all work, Barry Bannon. The one slight disappointment, the injury to Fernando Forestieri. But let's hear from 2 of Sheffield Wednesday's key men on any day. They're talking to Jonathan Oakes.
Well done, fellas. Barry, you have to put a shift in today.
Yeah, I'm tired. Boys were brilliant. I think the performances the last few weeks have been good, but we've not got the result, and I think today was a total package. I think we fully deserved the victory, and thanks to the big man who's scored another 2 goals. He's been brilliant again.
Yeah, Stephen, back in the goals. Tell us about them. The first one, this fella put the ball on your head, didn't he?
Yeah, his delivery is fantastic. All you need to do is make a little run, 2 yards, and you know he'll find you. And I managed to get away from the centre half and got a little glance, so it was nice.
And the second, very calm penalty, but was there a bit of sledging going on between you and Dylan Phillips there?
I just left him to it. Concentrate on what I've got to do, and celebrate after it.
Does this get you back on track now, Barry? Can you start pushing up the table again?
Yeah, we hope so. Like I touched on earlier, we've performed pretty well, and we've just not been probably as clinical as we was today. I think even today we should have went 2-0 up, and they got it back to an equaliser, but it shows the maturity in the team. We're learning from the mistakes of previous weeks, and I think today we fully deserved the victory, so hopefully we can push on from this and kick up the table.
Well done, Stephen. If you do the presentation, please. Barry Bannon, Sky Bet Man of the Match.
Yes, a valiant effort from this injury-ravaged Charlton team, but unless you're an ardent Addicts fan, I think many will disagree that Wednesday weren't the better team on the day and deserved all 3 points. Very much an attacking team put out. They had injuries on the day, of course. Fernando Forestieri coming off in that game. When you're playing against that type of team and that type of style, and that striker who can score like that, but in the end, it was a comfortable win. In the end, Sheffield Wednesday up to 7th, just 1 point off the playoffs now. that being their first win in 6 as well. As for Charlton, well, they stay 17th on 23 points. They can be looking up as well as down now. The rest of today's Championship fixtures kicking off shortly. Of course, Fulham beat Swansea 2-1 last night. 10 today, 1 Monday. Bottom side Barnsley up against an in-form Hull side. Wayne Rooney will be on the Derby bench as a coach against QPR. Leeds will go top if they beat Middlesbrough. On Monday, leaders West Brom go to one of the toughest places in the Championship. That's Preston. We're on air at 7:30. Sky Sports Football. And don't forget 15-minute highlights of Friday and Saturday games available from 7 a.m. tomorrow on Sky Sports Football and also on demand. Well, Lewis Hamilton's already been crowned world champion, but you can watch the final race of the season. Snow in Abu Dhabi. 11:30, Sky Sports F1. England and Wales will find out their fate today, amongst others who have already qualified in the Euro 2020 draw. That's 5:15, Sky Sports News. And watch a collection of the most festive movies on Sky Cinema Christmas. That's available now. We'll get the thoughts of Chris Powell when we come back in just a few minutes' time, where Christmas has certainly come early for the Charlton fans off the pitch, but on it, Sheffield Wednesday got a fantastic win here. It is their first in 6, thanks to Stephen Fletcher and Nuhui, and go a point off the playoffs. Charlton fans had great news yesterday with a Prospective takeover, but their team weren't quite able to get the win today. Sheffield Wednesday scoring in the first half. It was 1-1 at half-time, Bonne getting the equaliser. Sheffield Wednesday just stepped it up in the second half. They won the penalty. Stephen Fletcher very cool, Gary Monk delighted. And right late on, Nuhui scored to make it 3-1 here. An excellent win for Sheffield Wednesday, which is their first in 6. Well, these are the match facts. Sheffield Wednesday had 24 attempts midweek, only scored the 1 goal. 18 today, scoring 3. 50% possession. Interesting with the passes into the box, not that different between the two, 23-28. But touches in the box, 32-13. I think that showed the difference in the final third. Well, Gary Monk made a bold team selection today, went for a very attacking side. He should be absolutely delighted with the win. Let's get his thoughts right now with Jonathan Oakes.
Gary, well done. As you predicted, they made you work hard for it, but were you good value for those 3 points?
Yeah, I think so. No, we knew it was going to be difficult. We knew they were going to push, and they're a good team. You know, I know they've got some issues with injuries, but still a good team. And as I said before the game, Lee will have them ready, and they pushed us. But I thought it was a really determined performance from us. We know that. You know, we've been playing like that in the last 4 or 5 games, and we haven't got our reward. Today was, I'm very pleased for everyone. You know, very pleased for the players and for the fans to get the rewards that our performance deserved, and we haven't done that in the last few games. But today we got exactly what we did, and I said that to the players all the way through this period of 4 or 5 games. Was you stick to what we're doing, it will turn for you, and you have to keep believing in that. And today I thought we played with real heart and character and belief, and yeah, I think we deserve to win that game. Stephen Fletcher back in the goals, is that reward for his hard work and getting in those opportunities? Yeah, and that's what they've been doing. I've been very pleased with them since I've come in, and yeah, there's little bits that we needed to get better with, and that comes with time, you know. But you know, the spirit and the character was there to see again today, and I was delighted for them. You know, they deserved that. We deserved that type of result in the last few games. It hasn't happened. That's the Championship, but to give the fans, you know, something back today, travelling away into London. Yeah, very, very pleased. It could have been more straightforward earlier. You could have gone 2-0 up if Fernando Forestieri had taken that chance, and then Charlton equalised 75 seconds later. What were you thinking at that point? Well, I just think the main part for the players is they proved a few points today, you know, where, you know, in previous games where we've had the opportunities, and, you know, like look at the Birmingham game in midweek, we had more enough opportunities to get the lead, and then a goal goes against you after you just had that chance to make it 2. And but I was delighted with the way that they responded to that and come back from it, and then pushed again, came out second half. Before we dominated the second half and got our just rewards. That's what we deserve. We deserve the 3 points. But look, tough game. Charlton a very good side, But yeah, very pleased the players got their rewards today.
Opportunity to push up the table now, but there is of course the spectre of that potential points deduction coming. It could hang over you like it did for a long time at Birmingham last season. How are you managing that situation? How do you make sure it doesn't overshadow the players' efforts?
Well, I think that's what we're all trying to do, is push up the table and get as many points as we can. And that side of it, as I said, our focus is on the pitch. I've been pleased with the players. We felt frustration from not taking our chances and being clinical, and a couple of mistakes that have led to goals late on in games recently. But yeah, today was a really, really good performance, and that we control what we can control. That's the football, and we'll keep putting our all into that and trying to get as many points on board as possible. The rest is out of our hands.
Yeah. Thanks, Gary.
Cheers, mate.
Lovely.
Yeah, how much credit goes to Gary Monk for making what was a very bold team selection when performances they've been okay recently, but results-wise haven't been?
No, they haven't, and maybe he felt, coming to Charlton, who have been on a similar run, maybe they would take the initiative and try to get the goals to win the game. Obviously, he lost Fernando Forestieri at half-time, but I felt the big switch was putting Kadeem Harris on the left in the second half. That really gave them impetus. They were on the front foot, and even though Charlton defended valiantly, eventually Sheffield Wednesday came through.
We talked about defining moments in the first half. That Fernando Forestieri miss wasn't a defining moment in the end, but what about the penalty that Sheffield Wednesday won to make it 2-1? Any arguments there?
Not really, because Murphy, he likes the one-on-one, and it's Satsuma who doesn't find himself in that position too often, and he lunges in. Most defenders would stay on their feet. He just
You don't want your
lunges in.
attacking players in that position, really, do you?
You don't, no. And if they are, you need them to be really, really careful. And when you're not a defender, you do tend to lunge in. And sadly for Charlton, it was a penalty.
Should we say there was a little bit of a discussion?
Yes.
Between keeper and striker?
Yes, putting it politely, yes.
But it was cool, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. I mean, Dylan was trying to put Stephen Fletcher off, but he took it coolly, put him the wrong way, and then obviously they had a bit of afters after it as well.
In terms of Stephen Fletcher, I mean, he's the top scorer.
Yeah.
But just with 6 goals before today, how important is it that he gets a couple today and really kicks on?
I think as a team they need to start scoring goals and start converting the chances they create, because they do create them. Murphy does, Harris does, Bonne does, and he has a lot of strikers. We saw Nuhui, Fletcher, got Winnell, got Rhodes. I mean, Rhodes not even in the 18. So he's got real firepower, especially at this level. But they need to really start kicking in. But they're in a decent place with regards to their position. We'll see what it's like at 5 o'clock today. But they've got players, they've got experience. I think that showed towards the end of the second half. Charlton, a young team, ravaged by injuries. I mean, Lee, in many ways, should be quite proud of his team, even though they lost. I understand that. But all his preparation went out the window at 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, with another 2 players getting injured after all the injuries and suspensions he's got. But you mentioned Kadeem Harris. The switch to the left, how effective was he in that second half?
Oh, he's very influential. In the first half, that was the only time he beat Dirty, created a chance, Fletcher and Forestieri's missed. But then what he likes, when you're a right footer on the left side, you can go either way, and you can keep the fullback guessing whether you're going to drive inside or whether you're going to hit the line. This time he hits the line. Brilliant save by Dylan Phillips. This time he comes inside, and he just finds himself, when he's on the right side, just maybe going on the outside all the time. But very influential. Got his first goal for him midweek. And I felt he was the catalyst for Sheffield Wednesday to improve in the second half.
Yeah, we mentioned Stephen Fletcher, important to him, get on the score sheet. What about Nuhui as well?
Yeah, well, he's the Kosovan who I've come across recently in the last few weeks, who's been around for a long time, got good skill. I thought Bannon and Reach really combined well. A terrific ball, unmarked. If you leave him unmarked in the area with a header, he's going to score. And he's a player I think the fans like. He does make a bit of an impact when he comes on off the bench, but he started today. He got his just rewards. He worked hard, linked up pretty well. He's not going to run away from anyone, but what Sheffield Wednesday can do is play off him, build around him, and he got his rewards at the end of it.
What did you make of the two of them playing with each other today? Do you feel that's the way that Gary Monk can play going forward, or is it a one-off for today?
No, I think they can go that way in the up-and-coming games because they will occupy centre-backs. A lot of teams play with one striker, so there's always a centre-back spare. Now they're asking questions of two centre-halves. It's a bit like the old days where there was always, two strikers, normally a big target man and a small, quick one. Well, they're a bit of both, these two, with regards...
They're two big men.
Yes, they are, yeah. I think you're right. So they get the pace from the wings, from Harris, from Murphy. They're not going to run away from anyone, but if they get delivery, which they got today, they get service, they are going to score, or at least get the chances to win football matches.
And Stephen Fletcher will have a go at us if we don't show the other goal as well. But what about the quality from Barry Bannon? And we talked about him before the game and the left foot he has.
Yeah. He's a great player at this level, he really is. And I think people sometimes are put off by his physicality. He's such a good technician. He follows his pass and he knows the selection. The thing about him is the selection, decision-making and the quality, and he's got all three. And it was just a great ball. You put that in between the sticks, any striker will go and attack it like Fletcher did, and he heads it down, which keeps it away from Dylan Phillips, which shows the mark of a good striker.
So if you're a Sheffield Wednesday fan right now, you've been in a bit of a bad run, certainly in terms of results. You've got a win here, you are points off the playoffs, a game still to play today, but you've got that possible points deduction coming up. I mean, is the glass half full or half empty?
I was going to say a bit of both, because you're happy you're leaving the Valley, you're happy you're at home in South Yorkshire, really happy with the team and winning the game. But it's in the back of your mind, without a doubt, and we've seen that Birmingham, they had their deduction last year, albeit for something slightly different, but they've got previous, the EFL, with regards to this, and Sheffield Wednesday will have to prove that they're in the clear, and it's going to be very difficult. So I'm sure Gary Monk will be just trying to keep the team on an even keel, but I'm sure upstairs in the boardroom they will be worried for certain.
But they do have the perfect man in place with experience of that in Gary Monk. A very good win here at the Valley. And when we come back, we hope to hear from the Charlton manager, Lee Bowyer. Well, what a tough time it's been for him recently, certainly on the pitch. Good news off it. And we'll hear his thoughts next. A very good win for Sheffield Wednesday here at the Valley, beating Charlton by 3-1. It's the first win in 6 for them. Johnny Jackson and Lee Bowyer in discussion. And we shall ask Lee Bowyer exactly what he was saying there. Lee, great to see you. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Let's talk things on the pitch first. What did you make of those 90 minutes?
Do you know, I just said to the players after the game to hold your head up high. That they've given absolutely anything. No one likes losing. But with the amount of people that are out at the moment, and obviously with the situation that was happening this morning regarding players turning up with a sickness bug, the players have...
But you wanted to just keep your phone off, didn't you?
Yeah, but Scotty, they've just given absolutely everything, and our crowd clapped them off the pitch after losing at home. Like that doesn't happen very often at grounds, but that's what I've said to them. Just keep working hard. We need a bit of help when we start getting some of the injuries back, and once we do, like we've just competed with Sheffield Wednesday with a lot of people out, and I thought it was okay. It was quite even, especially second half. I thought it was quite even and could have maybe gone either way, and then it's taken a penalty to push them over the line.
Normally in a game the first goal is so important, but you showed that you have character, didn't you, by coming back and making it 1-1.
Yeah, that's what we have in our dressing room. We have a lot of character, like you've just seen there. They keep battling. Alfred Doherty done absolutely outstanding. He was today. That's his first full debut. He was playing at Bromley about 2 weeks ago, and now he's doing this against Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship. He was outstanding. Defensively, he's not a left back, so for him to play there and defensively, I thought he was excellent as well, playing against good proper Championship wingers. But Mac, a great touch, bit of luck with the deflection, but yeah, excellent goal, I thought.
Talking about a jump as well, I mean, what about Macaulay Bonne? Last season he was playing in non-league, 6 and 11 now.
Yeah, Macca's doing well. Again, I think I said before that we was going to send him out on loan, but then for for me, he improved so much from pre-season until the end of the window. It was like, well, you're seeing him improve, so why not just keep him here? He's a project for us, and keep him here and teach him the way we want him to play, so then he becomes a striker we want, and which is going to benefit us in the long run. And he keeps improving like every single day in training, and you see that there. His hold-up play, like his movement, and he's becoming the all-round striker that we've invested in.
Lee's mentioned Alfie Doherty, then how impressed were you of someone playing left back, your position, who's not a left back?
No, I mean, I'm sure Ben Perrington was going to play, but then all of a sudden this morning you're putting in a young left winger who's been playing out of non-league, playing against Kadeem Harris, who's really, really good at this level, and he had to swap wings. You know, and that says to me that he had a real balance to his play, a real calmness, good left foot, good decision maker. And, you know, I felt for a young player to come in at that situation, playing out of position, and in the advanced areas, he was good. He delivered, he won corners, he served the front men. He was really, really impressive. And as I said earlier, I wouldn't underestimate how well Charlton did today, considering all what's gone on. And for them to be clapped off, as Lee said, in front of this crowd, it only bodes well, because we've seen a number of players, 13, 14 players out.
Let's have a look at the players who are out, shall we? Either through injury, suspension, or just illness as well. Now, we try to make this font as small as possible, and we still can't get all of them in, Lee.
No.
What's it like at the moment?
It's crazy. Like, it just don't happen anywhere else, Scotty. It don't. I've never been at a club, and I played for 18 years, that had to deal with that. If you take that amount of players away from any squad in this division, or even in the Premier League, who's got even bigger squads, if you take that amount of players, it's going to be tough. And don't get me wrong, it's tough for us at the moment, but we're competing. That's the thing that makes me so proud and pleased. We're still competing against these top sides. We played last week against... where did we play last
Cardiff.
week? Cardiff last week. It was 2-0 up. There's only like 3 or 4 more that's been out from last week, you know, that's added to that. 2 of them this morning. So the way we're dealing and adapting, and it's challenging. But like I've just said to the players, like, be proud, keep your heads up, because it ain't going to carry on like this. As soon as we get some back, imagine when we do get players back, we're competing now, when we've got that many out. When we do start getting some back, like in the start of the season, we was competing, we was up there.
Yeah. Got to talk off the pitch now. Obviously, big news for Charlton fans and yourself as well about prospective new owners. What have they said to you? What's your reaction? What's possible for this club?
The most important thing for me is that it's been all positive. So the conversations that that myself has had with the potential new owner, it's all been positive. And obviously regarding ourselves...
What does that mean, positive? What have they said?
What they've said that me and my staff, we will get proper contracts now, and they look after us. They want to do that straight away. There will be some money to spend in January, which is also going to help. And they want to do the right things for the football club, because they understand it's been hard for us since I've been in charge anyway, and they recognise what a good club it is. And what the fans that we have already, I think that it's everything that they're saying is all positive, and I'm glad. I just hope we get the green light from the EFL.
Fingers and toes crossed for you, Lee. Listen, thank you very much for joining us, especially after defeat as well. Good luck for the rest of the season. Chris, great to see you as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, thanks.
OK, just a reminder, right now, Soccer Saturday with Jeff and the guys over on the Sky Sports Premier League channel. A great win for Sheffield Wednesday. Disappointment at the Valley, but in the end, it does mean that Charlton can move forward.
Reaching behind, Fletcher's waiting, Nuhiu's waiting, and seals it for Sheffield Wednesday. Well, they've well and truly gate-crashed the party today and returned to winning ways.
Sky Sports Football. Feel it all.